Hey everybody, tonight's painting is going to be a car themed one, but it's going to be a more famous car from a movie, Back to the Future. So it's going to be the time machine, the Delorean. Um, a lot of people love this car and the movie. I for one enjoyed the movie. I would have to say that I enjoyed the first one probably the best, and the rest were eh. But anyway, it's not going to be a Hot Wheels one because I went through my whole collection and I knew I had at least one. I thought maybe two, and I did find one, and it's right here. Except as you can see, the wheels are flat instead of this way, and this is the hover mode. It says so. It was the more the when he went into the way into the future and modified it, and it could fly. So that doesn't work with the type that I want to do. So the one I did get, I finally found one in a store because I was thinking about buying one, online to get it, because I think they do have the one that has the regular wheels on it, and I just hadn't done it. But I saw this one in the store. I almost didn't get it because it's bigger than the scale of the regular Hot Wheels. As you can see, this is it. So this is how much bigger it is. So it's quite a bit bigger. So I haven't really done one with that big of a car on it before. So I went with a little bit bigger canvas. I have a 12 by 24. I think that might be big enough. I might go with a 12 by 36. I got to set it on here and see what it looks like before I start. But I normally do a 10 by 20 for the Hot Wheels. It's about for me, this is the right size. It's you got the rectangular canvas that allows you to shoot your flames or whatever out the back. So I want to have enough room to do that, but I'll check it out with the size of the car and set it on the canvas before I really get started. I do have 12 by 36 canvases in the studio, so I'll be able to adjust that. Right now I have a 12 by 24 sitting out. And what I want to do is a black background, the negative space, and then have the flames coming out, two separate streams of flames where the tires, when it took off to get up to the 88 miles per hour and hit the right speed to go back in time, or to activate the time machine. It's been a long day. And I also wanted to, I knew there was lightning that came out, usually from the front, just that lightning coming off. And so the inside of the box, because it came in a big box like this, so the inside has the flames and the lightning. So I saved it just to kind of reference to when I do that. And so the key to this really is to, of course, you really want to get a good flame, but then I have to really get the right dimensions on it to be able to put the lightning effect. I hope I can get it to like a lightning effect in the front of the car, kind of going out and around. So I gotta get those two pretty much set in the right spot where it'll work pretty good, and it'll look good when I set the car in it. And since it's on this is a much heavier car, I think I'm going to put a coat of resin on top. After I get it done, I'll put the normal coat of resin on it, and then I'll let that. I'm not going to set the car in at that time, and then I will put another, once that dries and cures, I'll put another coat on, and that's when I set the car in, because that'll firm up the canvas and won't weigh it down to where it's pushing down, and which will pull all the resin in to like a puddle almost, and pull away from the edges, and you get that. And so I think I'd rather do just a regular coat of resin and let it set, and then do that, and should be sturdy enough. If not, I might have to put another coat on after that. I don't like putting that many on, but so that's the pour I'm going to go with tonight. And I hope this thing really turns out, because it could really be a really bad piece, really spectacular if I can get it right. So we'll see how it goes. All right, as you can see, I did have some 12 by 36s, but they were the level 1. This one is actually a level 3. I kind of wanted to do a level 3 on it because if this thing turns out pretty well, I think I would prefer it to be on this nicer canvas. As you can see, it's one I've already poured on. I didn't really like how this one turned out, so I'm just going to pour over it. So let's get going. Start down the middle. And as I thought, I'm not going to have enough paint. I'm going to have to mix some more. So I'm going to pause this and start over with some more paint. All right, now that didn't take that long, did it? So I got some more paint mixed up so I can get that spread on. There are some times when I don't really like painting over something, but I've actually had this one for I'm going to guess over a year, maybe a year and a half now. Pretty close to a year and a half since I painted this. I think we didn't do anything for Thanksgiving this last year because of the stupid COVID. We just decided, my wife and I decided to stay home and not go to what we normally do with our family. We get together with some cousins and aunts and uncles and my folks, but I had a cousin that wanted the year before wanted a black with orange on it, so I did this one, and they never got back with me on it, and I don't really see them all that much. I sent him something on Facebook and I didn't get a reply on it, a picture and everything, and so I just figured they didn't want it anymore, so, which is fine. Even though orange is my favorite color, I didn't really like it as that much. But I've just had it. I haven't done anything with it. I hadn't done any resin on it, and I hadn't done any. If I don't do resin, I usually spray a gloss enamel over it, and I hadn't done that. So it was just a regular, dull looking orange on this. And it was kind of just sitting behind some other canvases for a long time. So I kind of found it when I cleaned out my studio last weekend. Last week, I think it was. Boy, time just flies by. It's hard telling that's what happens when you get older. So, I had this sitting out. I haven't put everything back in the studio. It's Some of it's still out in the living room, which my wife has mentioned a couple of times already. So, yeah. So anyway, I knew it was out there. And so yeah, I'm doing it on this one. I had already actually tore the wrapping off the other 12 by 36, the level 1, and had it sitting here, had the car on to see where I wanted to do it at, and that's when it hit me, and so I went out and got it and replaced it with this one. So I think I want to do the car about right there. Since this is a 36, I got quite a bit to work with, so I'm not going to go as far up as I normally do. I'm going to go about here. So that means I want to start right here, which I have a little stick right down here, so I can set it there so I know where to start to go back. And probably get another stick here for the front. So I know where to start the lightning. So about right here, back, and even if it's up a little bit more than that, that's fine, because like the car will be over it, and then the lightning up in here. All right. And for the flame ones, I want it to be thin, like tire marks. So I've got my smaller little hair dryer, world's smallest hair dryer. I think it's what it was dubbed at. So I kind of need to also find the tires. So let's see, what can we do for that? I think we'll do this. All right, so that kind of gives me the width I need, about how far apart I need to go to get them going. So I think we got it set. Boy, I tell you, this Floetrol, this bottle of Floetrol had a lot of junk in it. That happens every once in a while. So, I mean, usually it's just a little dab and a little dab. This one was some long, stringy stuff. So yeah, it was kind of weird. Well, I won't do that. I don't know if I've ever done that. Dip the cup in there. Do a little white. Outside of it. All right. Let's see how this thing does. Pick this up and get it on the table so it doesn't extension cords, extension cords, extension cords. Just don't need it to, oh, come on. It's amazing how things get wrapped around everything. Okay, we're gonna need some more red in there. It's one thing I don't like about this particular little hair dryer. It is a little, I wish it was just a little bit softer, not so powerful, I guess you could say. So strong. Yeah, let me get some paper towels. I got black paint on the cord of this. Wipe that off real quick. Trying to hold it back. So I have to hold it up a little bit higher than what I normally would. So I'm not liking that at all. It doesn't look like fire to me. Modify it a little bit. Gonna have to go with the old straw wind magic. Tuck my shirt in so I don't get my shirt all. Alright, it's not really looking like fire as much as I wanted it to, but we'll embellish it a little bit. So yeah, it's not exactly what I'm looking for, but you know, what are you going to do? I don't want to re-pour it. But it does have pretty good kind of flamey looking parts of it, and with the embellishments on it, it'll, you know, it'll serve its purpose to, you know, what it's doing, what it's supposed to be. So I'll cover up some of these. Little splashes of paint that got out. So now for the harder part, which I think is the harder part, would be the, because we'll see what that looks like so far. Yeah, I know it's not going to look exactly like what was in the movie, but I think it'll still look good. I know that doesn't look like lightning, but that's what we're going to do with it. this with a different tool. All right. About like that. You see that? I think I would like it up a little bit farther with the blow it up with the straw. Alrighty. I think that's gonna be it. I think it's gonna look it definitely didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out, but that's just about everything that I do. So but I think it'll be pretty decent. I think it'll turn out all right. It'll still be good. Still be good. So now we'll wait for this thing to dry, see how it dries out tonight, and then we will definitely get some resin on it and at least one coat. And this one is a little bit tighter, so I might go with just one coat in the thing, but I'll probably do two. So that's it. All right, I think we're ready to resin this thing. cleaned off a little bit. I did something tonight that I haven't done before, and that was I mixed my resin which isn't so bad, but you only have so much time to work with it. I mixed my resin and I turned around and I realized I hadn't even taped the back of this painting, so I had to do that real quick so that I could peel the tape off on the back, because that is not fun. That is not fun, getting those dried droplets of resin off of anything, let alone a canvas. So that's what I was doing real quick, so I don't have as much time to work with this resin. Doesn't take that long, but still, I like to have every bit of time I can have with the resin, just in case. So I wasn't kind of liking the flames on this one, but I think it turned out all right. It's not quite as green as it was when I first painted it. I didn't want the green in there. I'm using my new space for resining, which I have a different table in here now, so that's nice. I did have to move my tripod, but that's all right. I'm thinking of planning on painting after I resin this one, just get another painting in. But and I think this one's going to be sturdy enough that I don't have to put a coat of resin on and then wait for it to dry and put another coat on before I place the car on, because the car is bigger. Even though it is bigger, I don't think it'll weigh it down as much, so hopefully it won't pull the resin off the edges. And then I figured if it does, I'll put another coat on afterwards. Thinking I'm wanting the car in this one, just to have it on there. I'm anxious to see what this thing looks like when it's done, and get it posted and see what people think about it, if they think it's any good or not. So I do have this one covered well. So the light on, just so I have a little extra light. And I do have a chair here that I couldn't quite get the whole thing in. My tripod just doesn't go up that high. But I will definitely you'll get to see the whole thing. I'll take a video of the whole thing when it's done, of course. I really do think I was kind of worried about this section here, the lightning type stuff. I didn't know if I could really get a very good lightning, and then you're always worried about the white paint sinking, at least I am. But I think it sunk quite a bit. Right in there is a little bit too much, but I think that'll be all right. It'll kind of be the flash point of the lightning, and which I needed at least I was wanting a little thinner, but I think that'll work. I think I can get the car and part of it to cut down on some of it. But I think it made some nice kind of lightning effect on it as well. It sunk just enough that it gave it that look, which is what I wanted. So that's always good. found these really nice kind of luminous lights at it was actually at Menards. They have some pretty good lighting in there, and I wasn't looking for these. I had a couple of kind of light bulby, well, they're just light bulb lights, old lights. One I remember my folks having as a kid when I was a kid, so that's that old. So it's probably at least 50 years old or more. So I had that, and I bought another just cheap $6 light bulb lamp, and but I was in Menards and I was looking at stuff and some lighting for some other things, and boy, I found these, and they're almost perfect for what I needed, which was great because they are like a fluorescent light, sort of luminous light. They're a straight flat lengthways. They are bright, and they adjust. You can move them up and down. You can adjust the lighting. I put it at the brightest, but they were also on clearance. They were getting rid of them, and they were normally like $20, $25, $30, I think it was maybe 29, $30 lights, and I got them for like $6 each, and I ended up buying 3 of them. I had 2 in here for the longest time, and I finally got the 3rd one. I didn't really have room on the table. I was kind of waiting for the light bulb ones, the one with the light bulbs in, to kind of burn out, so I could just replace it. I was just going to wait till the bulb burned out, and of course it still hasn't. And so when I put this new table over here just to do resin, I was able to use that 3rd light and get it out, and that's what I'm using now to see all this stuff. Which is a ton of bubbles in it. I'm really getting it smooth though, which is fine. As long as I find them all. Boy, there's a whole bunch right in there. I thought I got all that stuff out. Whew, my arms get tired. And that might be the key. A lot of people ask me how I get it so smooth. It is because I don't just rely on my overhead light to see the bubbles. I have to get it down to where these fluorescent type luminous lights shine off of it, and then that's when you can see those bubbles. You can see them popping. Well, you can still see them popping. When I thought I had them all out, if you look at it just from above, it's smooth as silk, but boy, when you get down like this, you can see all those bubbles. So that might be the key for you. And of course, I have to sit down because just lower back problems. It's hard for me to bend over for too long. That's when it really starts hurting. But so with this new table, and I can really sit here and just resin it, which is great. For an old man, that's what you need. So, all right, I think I got it to a point where I can place the car in it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna do that too. Oh, I can do it afterwards. Another thing I was going to do, I just now realized, is I think the doors on this open on this car. Let's see if they do. Maybe they don't. Oh, they do, but they're really tight, so I think it won't be a problem. Well, it might be. I might have to, when it dries, I might have to put a little super glue in there just to hold the door down. That came up running over. Hurt it none, but because I was going to take that, they had a piece of something going through and hold the doors down. This one actually comes open a little bit, and this one's really tight. So, but I might open it up, put a little super glue in it. You must have got some white paint on it the other night. And I'll super glue that in so it'll stay. So I'm gonna stand up and see. Put this on. So I'm gonna get it in right in here. Come up just a little bit. Right in there. So that they can. So that kind of thins that white part out, the flash point, and doesn't look so thick. So it really does look like the car's hitting that lightning when it hits the 88 miles per hour and goes into the future or back to the future. So that is it. I think that's a winner. I do think it turned out pretty good. Leave a comment of how you think it turned out. I'm always happy to hear comments from people, whether they're good or bad. It's always just nice to get some feedback on that. So, all right, till next time.